I want to hear what Shayna has to say 1000%.
Literally had me crying, first of all. And that's a lot. And somehow you're like the only person who's ever gotten me to cry at these freaking events. It's every event, man. You get me crying. But
Beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
but I really loved how you were just talking about, more of like the hardships of life and everything. And how you were talking about everything that you've gone through and all of that. Cause I really feel like stories are so important in talking about your stories and talking about what you've been through. You might think it's like you might be ashamed of it because I know my story isn't the best and I did not like it until I started doing your trainings and till I joined my company and everything and realized that everything that I've gone through has led me here, and I would go through it again if it meant I got to where I am now. So I'm very blessed to have been through everything that I have been. But I feel like connecting with people and hearing their stories is something that society as a whole is missing out on because everyone's just glued into their phone and fucking like swiping left or right on people and not even like listening to what people have to say anymore. So hearing from you is like I needed it. So I'm very blessed and grateful for having to hear your story and everyone else's stories that I come across.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to say to you, Shayna, and to everyone, you guys have no idea how many lives that your stories are going to change and impact. I have had things and there are parts of my story that I don't share all the time because they're not really relevant. But in certain situations, when I feel like, okay, this person needs to hear this thing about me and my life, and this thing that I almost forgot about, this huge hardship that was like devastating to me at a time. I look at it and I'm just like, man, you know what? That's that thing that happened now is so far gone in the rearview mirror that you almost forget about it, And that's the thing. So many of the things that you guys are going through right now, because you're in the middle of it or because it's very close in your rearview mirror, it's still affecting you. But there are things that happen to all of us that are in our childhood. And a lot of times we focus on, childhood traumas and things that have occurred in the past. And we're like, oh, but this childhood traumatic thing, like it's still affecting me today. Well, there was also 100 other things that were traumatic that happened in your childhood that you just forgot. And that's what a lot of the problems that you guys are going through right now are going to feel like in the future. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like, I literally forgot that as a child, I tried to commit suicide multiple times. Like, I was on the verge. I remember one time I literally had a knife, and I can remember being in the apartment that I grew up in, and I was leaning on my dad's back office door, and I had a knife, and I was sitting down on the ground in the kitchen, and I had this knife, and it was just to my heart, and I was just holding it. I was just like holding it upright. And my mom came home and she's like, what are you doing? And I was crying. And I just told her, I said, I'm going to kill myself. And she was like, why? Like, what happened? Oh my God, honey. And she just sat there, kept her distance, and just calmly just asked me what was going on. And you want to know something? I don't even remember what it was. I don't even remember why I wanted to kill myself. I just remember having a knife and wanting to do it. Think about that. I was literally thinking and contemplating about taking my own life as a child, maybe in elementary school, middle school. It's so hazy because it was so long ago. But I remember how I was sitting, and I remember my mom listening to me, and I remember her essentially talking me out of it. One of my first childhood memories, I remember wanting to run away as a child. So small. Like, this is where I got my idea of running away. I got my idea of running away from the cartoons, like the Bugs Bunny cartoons, when they would like run away and they would have like a broomstick and a little like sack. I don't know if you does anyone remember that? Like that's like when you were a hobo, like you had a little hobo sack. It was just a stick and like a little cloth bag or like a plastic bag. All I knew was that to run away, if you were like homeless or you ran away, you had a stick and then it had a bag and that had all your stuff in it. So I made that. Right, I took like a plastic bag and I put around like a wiffle ball bat or a broomstick or something. And I was like, I'm running away. And I was so little, like this is like one of my earliest memories, guys. So I was like 4 or 5 years old or something like that. And I remember my mom helping me pack my little sack, right? Like, what am I going to, it would be like a 4-year-old running away. Like, where am I going to go? Like, I can't find my way anywhere, right? I would be lost so fast. And I remember my mom helping me to pack my sack. And then obviously she had to like let me out of the house, you know, or the apartment, right? And we were living maybe in New York, maybe Boston. I don't even really remember. And she literally took me to the park. And I remember it was some type of, I think, plastic bag. Because when it was done, after she talked me out of it, that was the first time she talked me out of something that I can remember as a kid, talking me off of suicide, talking me away from running away as a child. I remember the way that it ended. I don't remember why I wanted to run away. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember how my little hobo stick was constructed, but I remember that when it was done, we were in a park and I was using it to catch butterflies. So I went from wanting to run away as a baby to catching butterflies with this little contraption, this little net thing that I made with my mom's help, I'm sure. So you're not going to remember all these super traumatic things that you would almost literally commit suicide for or quit your business or whatever thing that you're passionate about. You might quit over the stupidest things. You might quit on your life over the stupidest things that 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you're not even going to remember. But you know what you probably might remember? The person who talks you out of it. The person that talks you off of the ledge. And I know now, for Lord knows how many people, something I've said may have talked that person off of the ledge. Maybe this message right now might talk someone off the ledge and prevent them from doing something that they would regret, that would painfully hurt their family or their loved ones. But you may be that person for somebody else if you just keep going. So the things that are happening to you, you guys have no idea, but they're being used and will be used for you to be able to help to change someone else's life. So as dark as it gets, as hard as it gets, and man, I know it can be hard because that wasn't the end of my suicides. I have a blurry history of multiple times that I've just thought like, you know what, fuck it, take me out right here. God, okay, I'm going to go drive and just run me into a tree. Like, I don't want to do it on purpose, but I just want something to happen. So like, you have my blessing to just hit me with a lightning bolt, run me off of the road. I don't want to commit suicide, but I want to die. So just take me out of the game, however you can. And then the next day, I'm laughing and having the best day of my life and thinking, God, what if he had listened? Like, what if the creator of the fucking universe, God, was just like, you sure? Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Take me. So where do I sign? Take me out of it all. Like, just vaporize me. I don't even want to have a recollection that any of this happened. Like, I don't care about hell, heaven, reincarnation. Just zap me out. I want no memory of everything. Just vaporize me. Is there a way that you can opt out of everything? Do that right now. I don't even care. I have literally felt like that multiple times. But I've kept going, and I'm glad I have. And so my life is a testimonial to continuing to move forward. And it may be that your life is a testimonial to someone else to keep moving forward. Always remember that when things get dark. I love you. I love you. Hang in there. It's going to get better. Trust me, it's going to get better. And you're going to be stronger for everything that you're going through. And the people's lives that you may touch and save could be more than you ever know. Thank you, Shayna, for sharing.
I'm crying again. Damn it.
It's good. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, thank you. I love you forever. I'm grateful forever. I'm speaking on everyone's behalf because I know everyone can relate to that.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you so much.